1, 2, 3.
It's the realest environment as it can get.
Look.
I'm Nick the Headhunter Chapman. I'm an MMA fighter in the UK. I own and developed Fight Science, which is my company. And Fight Science is basically my two passions in life combined into one. One is obviously to fight. I love fighting, always have done. And I also like to learn and study. I study hard, sports and exercise science, strength conditioning, nutrition, personal training, health and fitness. So it's basically my two passions combined, fight, science. I love the scientific aspect of training, nutrition, etc, etc. So I'll show you around. Now there's a lot of guys that come here to train. There's hundreds. We've got kids and pros and semi-pros, amateurs, even people who just want to train recreationally. This is something. This is one of my good guys, Andy. Andy, say hello to the camera.
Hello guys.
Watch this guy. He's going to be doing well in the light heavyweight, maybe middleweight division. Talking middleweight, but he's a good light heavy as well. This is Joe Colville. He's a British champion Muay Thai. He's also a Fight Science coach for Muay Thai as well. This is one to watch. Soon to be going into MMA. The real fighting. This is Kevin. This is my manager. He's in charge when I'm not here, and generally in charge when I am here. He runs the show. Solomon Raja. I think most people know who this guy is. He's the head coach at Fight Science. He takes care of the team, MMA, wrestling, and the kickboxing K1. This is one of our up and coming. And this is Paul here. Paul Dash is a PT, so that's just some of the team. And I'll show you around the gym. This is Dave. He's a physio from the army. This is a great guy. It's good to have on board. I've got a sponsorship with Hammer Strength and Life Fitness. And they very kindly donated a large amount of this equipment to me as a sponsorship, which is great. So I've got all the Life Fitness cardio machines. We've got room for more, but we've got enough for the time being. Now what's really important, or what's special about this gym for me, is the Hammer Strength. This stuff is, bar none in my opinion, the best kit in the world. And what we've got is this unilateral range. Unilateral meaning one side works independently to the other. So in most conventional gyms these days, a piece of equipment like this, if you move one side, the other side will go with it. This is designed to iron out any strength, muscular imbalances. It's amazing stuff. It's great for athletes. It's perfect for strength and conditioning. So most of the kit is unilateral. Shoulder press, leg extensions, hand curls. We've also got a range of kettlebells, fixed barbells, of course the dumbbells. Got to have a set of dumbbells. Got a functional training area as well at the back there with ropes, tyres, sledgehammers, a few punch bags for the members as well, stretching off area. But my favourite bit of kit is my Hammer Strength Power Rack. I mean, this thing can take a hell of a beating. Obviously there's a platform and inserts for the deadlifting and the slamming of heavy weights, but I mean, really and truthfully with this piece of kit, I don't really need anything else. Just use your imagination. It's got attachments for accommodate resistance. You can move these up and down, left and right. Safety bars move up and down. Even got a step up if you want to put a bench in there and spot your partner. So everything you can do in this is a fantastic bit of kit. I love it. I love it. What we're trying to achieve here is everything under one roof. You really don't need to go anywhere else, although we don't mind if you do. You can come and use this for what you want. We don't hold people in. It's just here for everyone to enjoy. And we've got a fully stocked shop. This is the shop. As I said, it's fully stocked. We've got everything from drinks, supplements, clothing, right round to merchandise and pads and boxing gloves and just everything you need. We even sell Vibram 5-finger shoes and snacker jacks. This is Sam. Sam owns a shop. He manages it very well, takes care of business for me, so it's literally just, I don't have to worry about this. That's Sam's problem.
Cheers, Nick.
Great stuff. Right, I'll show you around a bit more. It's quite a big building. Brett, this is one to watch for the future. Come here, my man. This is one of our little protégés. This kid here has got more power in his hands than I see in most adults. I let him give me his best shot the other day. I covered my jaw because he'd knocked me out. He hit me in the head, everything went white. He's a good lad. He keeps working hard, he's polite, he's decent, he's a great representation for fight science. Keep it up, young man. So we've got a cafe area, just a self-service. We've got a vending machine coming in, tables and chairs for people to chill out. There's a TV that only plays fight videos, UFC or Ultimate Challenge. People can just chill out. There's even soft sofas at the bottom. Just lots of fun there, really, just chilling out. And we've got over 6,000 square foot of matted area. But I've got 2 dividing curtains, so we got the option of 2 halls, 1 big hall. This curtain can pull across to keep it private, because we have like taekwondo gradings and stuff, and they want it a little bit more private. Other times it's open for the parents to view the kids doing whatever they do, and people to watch the pros. So as you can see, it's divided up into 2 today. But this building, I feel very fortunate to have managed to obtain it. I mean, it's for many years been the Army boxing gym, and it's got some serious heritage and history behind it, which I've embraced. You know, I don't want to turn away from that. The guys locally, they love this building, so it's just perfectly suited for what we do, because it was actually designed for boxing, for a boxing gym. I've actually only been here now. We opened 3 weeks ago, and I mean already it's pumping. We're doing really well. We've smashed all targets. Loads of people here, which is great, and there's a really good atmosphere, really good vibe. Some professionals and some amateurs and some recreational trainers. The mats behind me here. Obviously, we do a lot of BJJ on these mats. Judo. Generally, these mats they're British Association approved, so they're good for the grapplers. They're actually designed that way. So generally, we put the grappling in here, unless of course it's MMA, which goes on in the cage or next door. But it's a beautiful building with loads of character, loads of heritage behind it. It used to be called the Maida Gymnasium. Obviously now it's called Fight Science Gym. Very fortunate to have obtained it. I think the whole site in total is 20,000 square foot, full-time dedicated martial arts facility. We've got massive changing rooms, toilets at each end of the building. We actually hold shows here. We've got 9 events booked in this year. It's big enough to hold probably 600 people just in one side, so it's good to be able to hold shows here as well as training. I've spent 7 years doing the business plan, which has changed, evolved and adapted. I've spent so many years studying, getting the credentials I need behind me, understanding business and business preparation to get it right. I set out on a task many years ago, and I wanted to create something that was unrivaled in the UK. And I honestly feel like I've managed to achieve that. I've got an awesome facility here with so much going on, and it's dedicated to MMA and martial arts. We're certainly one of the biggest in the UK, if not arguably the biggest. There is another gym in the UK which is rather large, but in terms of actual MMA dedicated space, I don't think anyone's as big as us. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm really proud to have managed to put together what we've got here. It's something unique, it's something special. I don't think anyone else in the UK has got what we've got here. Right, I've got a couple of young lads here. These 2 young lads, they've been supporting me as a fighter. They've been to my fights, they come on, they're always behind me 100%. This is Rab. Say hello to the camera, buddy. This is one good lad, okay? This is his friend Mo. Mo, just working the bag here. These 2 kids are dedicated, hard-working, reliable and decent. We're very proud to have them out of Fight Science. They're just working my ringside bags here. We got a sponsorship with Ringside. Very kind donation from them. They've been fantastic. But these 2 are probably ones to watch out for in the future. Okay, carry on, guys. Cheers. Coming through. Okay. This is my cage. I love it. This is the best that I could buy. I don't think I could find a better cage than this. It's a full-size, full competition cage. And that means it's obviously elevated off the floor, but it's got red corner, blue corner, it's got all the padding, it's safe, it's brilliant, I love it. It's 24 foot across, It's just beautiful. I feel for my guys, it's important to train in an environment that they're going to compete in. When I spend a lot of time at uni and I'm talking to sports psychologists, I learned this very simple process, and it's about eliminating the unknowns. So my guys will always be training in a full-size cage, and there's cages as big as this in other gyms, but not a full competition cage in that it's elevated. So when they get into a cage to fight, they don't have to worry about spatial awareness. They don't have to worry about being elevated up all of a sudden and they're used to being down low. These little things make a difference, I believe. I've tried to eliminate, as I say, all the unknowns for my guys. So I've tried to replicate the environment of training as close as possible as I can to the environment of competition. So full-size, full competition cage, I love it. My first fight, the first time I'd ever stepped foot in a cage was my first fight. I got in the cage, I was like, oh, the floor's soft. I was like, it was a strange feeling. I didn't even train in the cage, I'd never stepped foot in a cage. I was like, So it was all new. But I just switched it off quite quickly. But for me, to have this cage for all of my guys, I mean, we can literally hold a class in here. I mean, working up against the fence, you know, it's a real environment as it can get. So important, I think. So my guys are fully prepared. And it's the same for me. I mean, for fights coming up, I could be in here with what we call getting shark tanked. So I've got like a fresh opponent every minute, pressuring me up against the cage to the point of exhaustion. A fresh guy comes in, constant. I'm being pressure tested in a real environment. The cage work as well, up against the fence. I mean, it's perfect. I've added a few like minor touches, finishing touches that personally inspire me, but I also feel, well, I know, inspire the team as well. And if you, for example, if you look behind me, the banner there, a fighter should be motivated by an intrinsic desire to achieve and to test oneself in the ultimate test, not by the extrinsic desire to beat others and revel in glory. They're my own words. And I honestly feel like I get guys that come into the gym and they want to fight. But they want to fight for all the wrong reasons. They want to fight because they just want to beat people up. And you know, you can spot them because they're always asking for easy matchups. They don't ever want to take a risk. And I just, you know, we're trained guys, and after time, they change their attitude, or they generally tend to leave because it's not the sport for them. You get a guy that walks in that just wants to fight and just to test himself and just to push himself as far as he can, with no extrinsic desires, as I call them, just purely and simply for himself. That's what I call a fighter. I think everybody that fights gets asked this question one time or another. They say, look, what got you into fighting? For me, it's very simple. I was born this way. I was born to fight. I honestly, truthfully believe it. I've been fighting since I was a kid. I've always been interested in martial arts. I was inspired by Bruce Lee, Rocky Balboa, you know, the usual crowd. And then the Ultimate Fighting Championships, when I very first witnessed that, that was it. I was absolutely hooked. I had to do that. There was no other way for me to go in my life. It had to be that. I was born angry. I've had a good upbringing. My family worked hard. They're decent people. I just had this tendency to just get angry. Angry to the point where I couldn't control myself as a young lad, and I got myself into a lot of trouble. And you know, I look at them as mistakes, but also experiences of life. And I honestly, you know, I look back and I think about the mistakes that I've made have developed me now as the person I am. And I've got to be honest, MMA's just taken that anger, not out of me, but it's taught me to deal with it and control it. And I learned very quickly when sparring that if I lost my temper, I was either going to get battered quite quickly through making mistakes, or I was going to gas. I'll take you to the control centre. This is where the magic happens. When you see Cribs on MTV, the magic happens in the bedroom. A Fight Science gym happens in my office. Do you know what I love about this is my window. They're my samurai swords. I've got a thing for samurai swords, but real ones. They're sharp as you like. That's the sword of the Daywalker, the bottom one, out of blade. But I love just the image, the vision that I see outside of my window. I never get bored with the sight of that. You know, the building's split into two. The gym's that end, the MMA cage is this end. And although I have an equal passion, very, very close to being equal passion for the science and the training, S&C side of things, as well as the fighting, I think the fighting takes it. So that's why the cage is here. The science aspect of fight science it originated from when I was studying at university and college for sports and exercise science. I very quickly realised there was a difference between our athletes and the athletes in the States, for example, and they are a fair way ahead of us with regards to the scientific aspect of training. I've got guys I've trained with in Muay Thai camps, for example, and you know their idea of conditioning is a circuit after every class. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's general conditioning, it works to an extent, but as I studied more and got to know more about the scientific aspect, real in-depth studying of the body, the response and the adaptations to training, that's when I really started to get excited by the science. So that's how fight science developed. I wanted to bring a scientific approach to the UK because effectively that's what the States are doing. So then I went on to start studying the strength conditioning, the nutrition as well, because nutrition is a science in itself. I managed very fortunately to build an association with the Human Performance Clinic at Harley Street. I've got some of the top guys in the world, Professor Greg White, Dr. Jack Quindler, Dr. Mike Loosemore. They're really, really cool guys, actually become good friends of mine now. They've helped me develop the conditioning models that we employ at Fight Science. I've been up at Harley Street with all sorts of machines attached to me and stuff hanging off me and gas analysis machines, and I felt a bit like Ivan Drago out of Rocky IV. It was quite cool. So truthfully, I mean, we don't just wing it at Fight Science. The methods and the principles that we employ are proven through science to work. And when I say work, I mean to cause an adaptation, a response, a positive one that can benefit a fighter under their conditioning. So the science, you can't argue with it, I'm afraid.